Good afternoon, everybody. Well, in a slightly different spot today. We're going to be talking about television shows and television shows I used to watch as a kid. And I always wondered, what did you actually watch a lot of cartoons on a Saturday morning that were really exciting to you? I always just my television, my own personal TV. I had to turn down the brightness and contrast so it didn't look so overexposed on the camera. So that's why it looks as close as it's gonna get. Unfortunately, I might need to make some video adjustments on the computer side as well, but that's about as good as it gets right now. And of course, today we're going to talk about Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and thank God my phone is connected to my TV. I can actually go to the other program. So we're going to start with the two Sabrinas. There's actually two different eras. There's 1971, I'm sorry, and of course the newer Sabrina. So this is the 1971 Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and it's pretty good overall. It's just not really. By today's spec, it seems a little bit dated. For example, Sabrina would probably have a CD player today, so yes, this is CRT-based television. By the way, in case you didn't know, that television was made in 1995. When I grew up, my parents had a 19-inch RCA XL 100 portable television set that we used to watch TV shows on. And that was a heavy thing. And then because of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, I can't actually show you too much of the actual action that was going on. So, well, what we're going to do is we just showed you that one, and we're going to talk about briefly. Louis Schreiber, which was the producer of this, did a lot of different programs for Filmation. He was working under contract with the Archie Comics Corporation to create. This was a spin-off of the Archie Comedy Hour, where Sabrina the Teenage Witch was a visiting role, or not a regular, but she was kind of a cameo, just as originally in the comic series. Sabrina was a cameo role. Supposedly in the series, she's supposed to be cousins with Archie. I don't know much more about that other than what I've heard. But here's the thing that's cool. When you look at these cartoons today, they seem so campy and dated. However, 1971, when that intro was produced, I was 3 years old at the time. I'm 46 now. As I said, I'm 46 years old and I still watch cartoons. Thanks to the internet, thanks to satellite dish, such as my dish network receiver, my DVR here, I can record all the kinds of programming I want, and then I watch it later on. Of course, we got my DVD player. This is broken, so I gotta replace it, but it's still there right now. And of course, this thing up here is the monitor that we use to make sure that the camera's recording it right. Unfortunately, it's in a weird place. And because of the setup, because of my eyesight, because of my legal blindness, it's really hard to make a setup like this that doesn't look like it's being crunched into a small space. Yes, I really do sit this close to this television when watching TV, so it's not really surprising. Now, we're going to go to the next Sabrina, but then we'll go into detailed comparison the characters after that. The next Sabrina came out by Disney, ABC, which is owned by Disney. Of course, had the TV show based on the comics original anime series called Sabrina the Teenage Witch, starring Melissa Joan Hart. That she was a teenager in high school. They decided to try to focus a Sabrina. They did not call it a teenage witch because they realized that would have been kind of in bad taste. Although when she became 13, they kind of call it that because it was technically teen. But the Sabrina, the new animated series, I'm gonna call it the new one. Originally it's called the animated, but it's really called the new animated because it's the other one. Is that the two have a lot in common. First of all, they're both now available on DVD. The original Sabrina is on a 3 DVD set, and the new Sabrina animated series is on a Volume 1 collection of videos that you can watch. I guess that covers the first 32 episodes of the program. I don't know when they're going to come out with a Volume 2. I have heard there is a Volume 2 coming, but I can't seem to find any definitive information about it. Amazon mentioned one that was in Spanish, but unfortunately they did not mention one in English. Now, let's go to the next episode. By the way, this is where the iPhones really kick ass, is the fact that I have this plugged into my TV stick using a cable here, so I can watch shows and things like that, perfect for demonstrations and PowerPoint presentations as well. So if you ever want to use your phone, the iPhone is great for this. This is the Sabrina the Animated Series. This is the new one, so you can see the difference between the two. And I think we'll discuss the differences at the end of the series here. But obviously, we see Salem the cat has much more of a presence in here. He's the black cat. And unlike the original Sabrina, he talks. And the voice that does Salem the cat in the anime series, it's the same voice that does Salem the cat in the live action series. So, also we can see her Sabrina is a blonde here. She has, 45 years old, I still like this one. I watch these cartoons too. I watch both sets. On occasion, sometimes they shuffle them up. Sometimes I'll watch one, then watch the other. Sometimes I'll watch them all in series, all one, and then watch all the series together. And this is Hilda, is the one with the black hair, and Zelda's the one with the glasses. So you got this. There obviously is a difference. The Hilda in the old series is the redhead that you saw with the vacuum cleaner, and Zelda's the one with the green hair. Why in the hell would they have green hair? I'll leave that alone. Maybe for you punk rockers, that might probably interest you. Okay, so anyway, the point is that there is obviously some character differences. And the other thing too is that well, let's see. Obviously, the original Sabrina has white hair, and the which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. And so it's it's really a major difference between the two. So anyway, the good news is if you want to watch the episodes, they are on YouTube. If you want to go dig around for them, the original Sabrina and the newer Sabrinas from Toon Disney are on YouTube. I have seen them many times. I watched quite a few of them. Also, it already is a DVD releases out for both of the old series and the new series. You can buy both. The new DVDs are for both series. I think are being provided through Amazon and Walmart.com and probably a few other retailers as well. And if you have a Dish Network subscription to Blockbuster at home, you can get the old series. Unfortunately, they don't really have a good selection of the new series. So if you really want to watch a lot of the new series, then you're going to have to go elsewhere. They have some, but they don't have a lot. It's just supposed to be sort of a compilation of a few of the favorite episodes of the new animated series. It's not really bad. I just don't really think it really does much justice to the average consumer. So that's about it. We have seen now, of course, a lot of the different cartoons and you know. So anyway, like I said, these phones are great for. Let's talk about the phone here for a minute, just so you understand. This is an iPhone 3GS, and it says, as you can see, it's connected to my TV using a composite video cable here, plugged into the 30-pin port. This is an Apple branded cable, and it allows me to show things on YouTube, the web version of YouTube. Unfortunately enough, the new Google-based YouTube app does not display video on an external monitor. I don't know why. The same thing with the Netflix program, which has resulted in me basically never partaking of Netflix anymore because of that reason. That you can't display video on it on big TV, because otherwise, if I could watch my TV shows on my big TV, I'd rather be able to do that than necessarily squinting at a tiny phone. By the way, let me tell you about this television here. This indeed is the original television. I bought this back when I was living in Litchfield Street here in Torrington. This is a 25-inch console, CRT based or CA home theater TV. It has your standard features, composite and S-video input, as well as has audio pass-through and video pass-through, so you can actually send the video from this straight to another monitor. But technically, you could even watch what I'm watching on this monitor here. I could put it on this TV down here if I wanted to, but right now it's not wired up that way. So it's really kind of a cool console television. It looks a little shelf-worn. It's a little battered. Clearly has seen better days, but it is still a very good television product. So wonderful television. It just happens to be that it's just a little beat up. When I was a kid, though, we didn't even have a TV like this. We had my father. My family was very poor. We actually started out with a black and white television as a teenage, in my very early years. My dad had many TVs, and many of them are black and white. And so our first color television that I really remember being in color was an RCA XL 100 TV. It had a standard mechanical VHF and UHF tuners in it, and it was, I think it was a 19-inch. Definitely was smaller than this, but here's screen size. Yeah, it's about 19 inch. It's about 19 inch, and it was we didn't have cable back then, so we used to get everything over the rooftop antenna. Unfortunately, depending on the weather, some channels came in great and some channels didn't come in that well. ABC, which had a lot of the cartoons, didn't really come in too well. I spent a lot of time watching things like Thundar, the Barbarian, and Captain Caveman, and Fangface, and a lot of good shows. Casper, Tom and Jerry, all the different ones, Looney Tunes. I spent a lot of my early years in school watching a lot of cartoons. So for me, cartoons indeed still are very much a part of my life. I watch a lot of cartoons. Even though I'm 45, going to be 46, I enjoy watching cartoons. And yes, I have watched many cartoons on this TV. Unfortunately, when we talk about channels today, I'm going to talk about something here. Toon Disney, when they became Disney XD or something, they kind of killed Toon Disney because they still wanted a boys channel. I don't know which one's the girls channel. The unfortunate Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the animated series, is no longer on Toon Disney, and I really kind of wish to be able to watch a few more. Thanks to my DVR, I can watch a lot of programs. I just record them all, and then I can come back and almost have the equivalent of my Saturday mornings cartoon marathons. I did watch the last 2 episodes of the series of Futurama. which kind of left me feeling kind of sad. But I think that we talked about cartoons for a minute. I think that Futurama is as many cartoons after a while. They kind of get stale. Incidentally, the Sabrina the Teenage Witch, talking about the first one, really didn't quite go over as well as Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the animated series, second version. But from watching, if you actually watch the cartoons, you'll see why. The first cartoons are kind of, as I said, are kind of campy, kind of kitsch today, but they really were kind of cool. But you have to remember, back then they were drawing the cartoons by hand. They were not being drawn by computer, so that makes a big difference too as far as technique. You only can draw so many cells, and then of course obviously you save your cells, and then you try to keep them mixed and matching them together. And kind of the same thing I do today when I do a lot of the videos is sometimes when I was doing my own comic strips, it's the same thing. From the Harpy's desk, we were doing the same exact same thing, which is we would take the comic strips and we would draw them and the elements in the cells, and we'd save them, and then it became kind of like the color forms things. You would take your background, and then you take your characters and you place them onto the background. Of course, I do it with the computer. They were doing it actually with rubber cement and paper layers, but I would do it with rubber cement. They would do it with rubber cement and or acetate overlays on top of the background plastic, which really kind of made things kind of interesting, especially for drawing comic strips. You got to remember also that the animated series, they would have to take this 24 of those cells to a frame or to a second, so which means that you really had to have a lot of they would do still shots of every assembled picture, 24 of them, to make a second worth of footage. So that's just gives you the idea of the kind of work that's involved when making comics. Of course, now with digital animation, so it's a new Sabrina's done it. It's really very easy to do that and not really think about the kind of work that Will Scrivener had to go through to make the original. But as far as the characters themselves, I think that the four characters I find the most amazingly, strikingly different of the main characters, actually 5 characters, is, okay, six, okay, but when we say 6, we're talking about from the 3 from each, which is you got Salem the cat, you got Aunt Zelda and Aunt Hilda, and I guess you could say Sabrina herself, but we'll talk about that in a second, because Sabrina, there's a little question about that. Aunt Zelda in the original Sabrina Teenage Witch, besides being an older adult, is also got green hair. Aunt Hilda, also being an older adult, has green hair. Has red hair, I'm sorry. And the new series, Hilda is the beautiful, younger, teenage, brown-haired lady. It's really kind of got, really kind of attractive. And of course, Aunt Zelda is again got the glasses, but she's got blonde hair. And again, both have, she's also still very nice too, but she's a younger teenager with glasses. So really different. And of course, we got no talk but Sabrina herself. We got the Sabrina that was characterized, voice character was Jane Webb in the old series. Also, she played the role of Batgirl, by the way, to show you who are interested in that kind of trivia. I think that her voice is very beautiful because the way some people think she sounds terrible, because she doesn't sound very convincing as a teenager. I want to say something. Jane Webb is a teenager. Okay, she was an older teenager. So yeah, she makes Sabrina sound like she's about 17, 18 years old. However, I still think she sounds really nice. The in the new series, the Sabrina is played. The voice is done by Emily Hart, which I believe is Melissa Joan Hart's sister. I could be wrong on that. Melissa Joan Hart herself does the voice of Zelda, by the way. Yeah, it's true. She does the voice. And then, of course, what else we got? We have Salem. Oh, yes. Salem. The first Salem was a brown-haired kitty cat. Kind of like Rusty, wherever he's hiding. He's running here somewhere. I'll find him later. Anyway, he's a brown-haired cat. He's very, very nice. But he doesn't talk in the old series. Okay, he meowed, and oh, there he is. Speaking of the cat, he's right on top of the cabinet. It looks like that's him. He'd meow and he'd laugh like a chipmunk. I think that was the thing with the voice orchestration for Salem the cat from the old series. It really, really bothered me. Was his laughing or chittering? He didn't really sound like a cat. He sounded more like a chipmunk. In the new series, Salem has a voice. Salem has the same man who does the Salem in the live-action series does Salem in the animated series. So his voice is the same for both the parts. The housing location, the houses are different, but yet they're the same. We're talking about the cartoon houses now, and not talking about the live series houses. Is different. In the old series, the house appears to be a type of a Victorian house that's got high, tall rooms and things. And in the newer series, the house is a little more modest, but it's still kind of big. The furnishings in the 70s really were kind of like that, with the flowers and the other stuff in the houses. There was a lot of flower power from Haight-Ashbury was still very strongly influencing the decor of homes, and some people just really, really enjoy having this wonderful decor in their homes. So there was a lot of that old flower power decor. I guess that's about it. Oh yeah, by the way, if you have any favorite cartoons, I'd like to hear about them. Okay, I mean, tell me what kind of stuff did you like? What kind of stuff did you not like? Okay, okay. So everybody, I wanted to first of all thank you all for being a chance to see this footage. Hopefully, the people with the Digital Millennium Copyright Act will not get on my back about using two intros from two cartoons. That's one of the reasons why I don't usually do this. But I figured today it would be nice to show you something a little different than me just sitting on the couch. So, I hope that you enjoyed this video. And again, me and Lomi both would welcome your comments and any suggestions. You want to say anything? Yeah. Please enjoy, please share, and please watch my channel too if you can. It's easy to find. It's in the end of the video information below. But in case you can't find it, it's http://www.tinyurl.com/LUMIFINISTRA. And we also do some new videos on my channel to watch as well. You might enjoy both. Yeah. Alright guys, that's it. That's a wrap. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.